Hi, welcome back to Grit Gym. I'm Adam Reese, and today is going to be the beginning of a video series on fat loss. And what we're going to go over today is why to dismiss caloric intake. Originally in the industry, what we did was we tried to create a diagram to help people lose fat, and we said that if we have less food in, or less calories in, than we did out, we would lose fat. And so this side in would be like your food and your drink, and out would be your activity levels and what it takes to just keep your body running, like keep your heart pumping and your organs running. And what this doesn't take into account is that we poop, okay? So there's gonna be a certain amount of food that goes into us that just goes right through us that we don't use. The other thing that it doesn't take into account is that we have previous storage of food, or previous storage of energy in our body. So in our muscle tissue, we have a certain amount of glycogen that our body will tap for immediate energy. We also have fat sitting all over in our body. We also have a huge storage of protein in our body, which is our muscle. Okay, and a lot of people don't think of it that way. If you got stuck on a deserted island somewhere, your body is going to eventually tap into your muscle tissue to survive. One of the reasons I really don't like this model, the calories in, calories out thing, is because it has a high fail rate. And I think a big reason for that is that it's boring. And by failure, I mean not necessarily that it doesn't work for some people, because it does, but people quit. And quitting is the worst habit that people can develop, okay? The other thing is that it doesn't teach anything around health. So it doesn't teach anything about type of food. So our vegetables and our protein, or like our meats and fruits and stuff like that. There's not too long after I finished college, there was this girl that grilled me on nutrition for a long time. And she went on this diet where she lost 17 pounds in 1 month. And all she did was eat Reese's peanut butter cups. She lived on water and Reese's peanut butter cups. Do not do this diet, okay? This girl did not just lose fat. She lost plenty of muscle in the process. Maybe she lost the only muscle, who knows? But that would suffice this model. She probably just wasn't eating enough to supply her demands, and she was losing all kinds of stuff. It also doesn't go into timing, okay? So when do we eat certain foods? And it doesn't go into behaviors. So can you stay present with your food? Can you enjoy your food? What kind of emotions are we having around, and why are we eating certain foods at certain times? And if we go back to evolution, this is kind of off subject, but if we go back to evolution, originally we were just a tube with food going in one end and out the other. Okay, we're still that same tube. We've just developed better ways of bringing food into that tube. So we have arms and legs and a brain to bring food into our tube. So there's a certain amount of our just inherited reason for eating around food. That food is based on survival, but it's also based on satisfaction. And it's a really great thing, because that means that we get to we really love eating food. So do you eat to live, or do you eat to live, or do you live to eat? I don't really care. But this doesn't teach anything around that, which we'll get into in different videos. What I want to see is people focus more on caloric output, okay? And when I say calorie, I want you to think more in terms of energy. Okay, think of energy output, okay? So live a really active lifestyle. Most people aren't strong enough to do this. I don't mean mentally strong. I mean they're not physically strong enough to go live the type of lifestyle that they should be living. So when it comes to the activities that you should be doing, exercise is still a big portion of that. But not all exercise is created equal. So there's this spectrum between like steady state cardio way on one side, and just straight powerlifting on the other. And really cardio is all relative anyway, because to a guy who squats 1,000 pounds, walking 100 yards might be cardio, whereas you got marathon runners that what's cardio to them? They can run for days. The thing with steady state cardio that I'll get into. Steady-state cardio is not the miracle that we wanted it to be. We used to make it sound like that was the answer to your prayers when it came to fat loss. We used to make it sound like you strength train to gain muscle and you do cardio to lose fat. That's not the way it works. Not whatsoever. When it comes to steady-state cardio, it's going to really, it has some negatives on our body. It has some big negatives, especially with fat loss. It will increase our metabolism for 1 to 2 hours after we get done working out. So we'll have a heightened window, a heightened state of metabolism about 1 to 2 hours after we're done working out. But we will also have a suppressed immune system. We won't recover very quickly, and our injury rates will be extremely high. We'll have a much higher rate of injury. This means that we won't work out as much and we won't have as much success. We'll end up sitting on the couch because we're sick and injured. But the reason for that is because most people are going to sit between 1,500 and 2,000 steps per mile. Okay, now every single one of those strides is going, when their foot hits the ground, they're absorbing 2 to 6 times the force of the weight of their body. This is a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress in your joints. It's a lot of accumulation. And eventually, that's going to break us down. That's where things come in. Now, when it comes to your hormones, this is where it really becomes an issue. If we want fat loss, we want glucagon and we want human growth hormone to go up. We want cortisol, insulin, and leptin to go down. Cortisol is a stress hormone. Insulin helps us pull blood out of insulin helps us pull sugar out of our blood and store it as fat, and leptin is kind of like our hunger hormone. So those aren't real good hormones to be increasing. If we do steady-state cardio, these 3 hormones will actually increase, and human growth hormone and glucagon will actually decrease. So it'll actually help us lose more muscle and gain more fat. When it comes to strength training, if we do strength training correctly, it should increase, I'm saying we need a good combination of strength training and sprints. And if we're taking care of our body with myofascial release and warm-ups, and we're mobilizing our body and building stability in our body in the correct ways, we should actually decrease our risk of injury, and we should improve injuries that we might have already had or just limitations that we have. We should also either have the same or heightened or a better immune system. We should recover better if we're doing things correctly. And the interesting thing about strength training and doing sprints is that it has a twofold on metabolism. So one, we're gaining more muscle. Muscle's metabolic, further increasing our metabolic activity. The other thing is that after a workout, we now have a window of up to 36 hours of heightened metabolic activity. That's huge. So we're building muscle, we're losing fat during that time. Now that's not like super scientific right on, but as far as like layman terms go, we have that metabolic window. That's what's happening during that time. So if we are to focus on strength and sprints, then that frees us up a lot of time from the 3 to 6 miles that a lot of people are running every single day and breaking down the tissues. So what do we do? And what I say to get in the more cardio portion, or the more what steady-state cardio people are going for, is to just go have fun. So get your strength first and then go have fun. I always laugh at these dance/exercise classes, because they I would imagine that a dance instructor goes to these and thinks the same thing as I think about the exercise, and neither of those are good. So go get strength and then go to a real dance class. Go get strength and then go swimming, go rock climbing, go hiking, go play a pickup game of basketball, whatever it is. Get strong and then go live an active lifestyle, because that's what we're going for anyway, is kind of to do that, live a better life, higher quality experience kind of thing. So don't worry about calorie intake. Focus on calorie output, energy output, live an active lifestyle, get strong first,